Morning students. Today we'll take up a new topic, uniform plane waves in free space. Uniform plane waves in free space. Right? Here, as we know that the electric field, if it is in x direction and the magnetic field is in y direction, right, they are mutually perpendicular to each other, right? Say one is moving in x direction, another one is moving in y direction. Okay, so one is in x direction, another in y direction. They are lying in the xy plane, right? They are lying in the same plane, so they are called as plane waves, uniform plane waves, right? And that the direction of propagation will be according to the right hand thumb rule, that if it is one is in x, another one is in y, then according to right hand thumb rule it will be in the other direction, that is it will be in the z direction. Fine. So with this introduction, then let us see that there are three directions here, that is x, we have y and z, x, y and z. So if it is lying in the xy plane, then it will move in the z direction. Okay, so one is ex, another one is hy, then it will move in the z direction, okay. And the amplitude and the phase of the plane waves will be constant when it is moving in the same direction, right? Suppose if we take the plane like this, if we take one plane, this is x, this is y and this is z. If we take the plane here, one plane here in the same direction, another plane here in the same direction, then the amplitude and the phases of ex and hy in this and ax and hy in this, they will be constant because they are moving in the same plane x and y, they are in the same plane and moving in the z direction, right? Let us consider the wave equation. Del square E bar is equal to mu sigma dou E bar by dou t plus mu epsilon dou square E bar by dou t square. This equation we have already derived in our previous class. Then del square h bar is equal to mu sigma dou h bar by dou t plus mu epsilon dou square h bar by dou t square, right? So these are the two equations that we dealt in the previous class. Here for free space, right? For free space, what are the parameters for free space? Conductivity is 0, epsilon is equal to epsilon naught, mu is equal to mu naught. So substituting these values in above equation 1, substituting these values in this equation 1, we have del square E bar is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar by dou t square. Okay. Then similarly del square h bar will be equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square h bar by dou t square. So consider the equation 3. So the equation 3 I can write it as del square E bar is equal to dou square E bar upon dou x square plus dou square E bar upon dou y square plus dou square E bar upon dou z square. So this is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar by dou t square. Okay, that is expressed in terms of x, y and z. The E bar, so that is nothing but this mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar by dou t square. But as we know that the wave is traveling only in the z direction, it is dependent on z but not on x and y. So we have only the z component, so dou square E bar by dou z square, this is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar by dou t square. Okay, so multiplying equation 3.6, that is a 6, multiplying equation 6 and rearranging the terms, we get dou square E bar upon dou t square. So I am rearranging for dou square E bar by dou t square. This will be equal to 1 upon mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar upon dou z square. Okay. Now according to certain equations that comes in optical physics, we know that V is equal to 1 upon square root of mu naught epsilon naught, that is equal to C. That is, we have V square is equal to 1 upon mu epsilon, or that is equal to C square, where C value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, that is the velocity of light. Right. So substituting this, the V is equal to 1 upon mu epsilon in the above equation. Substituting this in above equation, that is equation number 7, we get here. So this will be dou square E bar upon dou t square. This will be equal to V square into dou square E bar upon dou z square. Okay, just I have substituted the equation of V, that is 1 upon mu epsilon or 1 upon mu naught epsilon naught, in the above equation, and then I got this equation, right? So this equation is equation number 8. Similarly, for dou square h bar upon dou t square, this will be equal to V square into dou square h bar upon dou z square. Take it as equation 9, right? Let us consider the equation number 6. So what is equation number 6? Dou square E bar upon dou z square is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar by dou t square. So equation number 6, dou square E bar upon dou z square, that is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E bar upon dou t square. Okay. So for the wave propagating in z direction, we have only Ex and Ey component, right? But z component does not exist. As it is in z direction, the positive and negative will get cancelled, so we have only x and y component, right? So if we consider the E bar in Ax direction, E bar in Ax direction, so then we can write this equation as dou square Ex divided by dou z square. This is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square Ex upon dou t square. Okay, take it as 10. Let Ex be equal to Em into e raised to j omega t. Just like as we write the equation for velocity as V is equal to Vm sin omega t, right? Similarly, Ex will be equal to Em into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. So that I am expressing as Ex is equal to Em into e raised to j omega t. So this is nothing but as good as writing Ex is equal to Em into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. So this I have expressed as Ex is equal to Em into e raised to j omega t. Okay. So where Em is the amplitude, amplitude of the electric field, and omega is angular frequency. Fine. Next we will partially differentiate Ex with respect to t 2 times. So whatever this equation is there, that is equation for Ex, will partially differentiate 2 times with respect to t 2 times. So if we differentiate this Ex 2 times, what we get? So here dou square, that is Ex equation is Ex is equal to Em into e raised to j omega t. So this will be dou Ex by dou t. This is equal to Em is constant, take it outside, so e raised to j omega t into j omega t. Again if you differentiate dou square Ex by dou t square, so this will be equal to Em j omega t, take it outside, so this is e raised to j omega t into j omega t. Okay, so this will be equal to Em, that is Em j omega t, differentiation will be j omega, so that is Em j omega square into e raised to j omega t, that is j square is -1, so it will be minus omega square Em e raised to j omega t, right? But what is Em e raised to j omega t? But Em e raised to j omega t, this is equal to Ex. So we can write dou square Ex upon dou t square. So this will be equal to minus omega square ex, because ex is equal to em into e raised to j omega t, that we have assumed previously. Okay, so substituting this in equation 10. Okay, substituting this in equation 10, what we get? So in equation 10, this is our equation 10, dou square ex upon dou z square is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square ex by dou t square. Now we have got dou square ex by dou t square, substitute in this equation. So we have dou square ex upon dou z square, this is equal to mu naught epsilon naught into dou square ex by dou t square. Dou square ex by dou t square is nothing but minus omega square ex, right? So this will be equal to minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught ex, fine, or that is nothing but dou square ex upon dou z square, dou x square ex upon dou z square. Okay, so dou by dou z, if I take it as d, the differential operator d, that is I have dou square by dou z square is equal to d square. Then the equation, this equation, let us take it as 11. This equation 11 will become, so in wherever it is dou by dou z, substitute as d, differential operator d. So I get d square ex is equal to minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught ex. Okay, so in this equation, dou square ex by dou z square, I have substituted dou by dou z as d. So it will be d square is equal to minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught ex, right? So that is what I have written here. So therefore d square ex plus omega square mu naught epsilon naught ex, this is equal to 0. So auxiliary equation I can write here by taking ex common. So it will be d square plus omega square mu naught epsilon naught into ex, this is equal to 0. This is the auxiliary equation. So here equating bracket term to 0. So this bracketed term, if I equate it to 0, because ex cannot be 0, so d square plus omega square mu naught epsilon naught is equal to 0, or d square is equal to minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught. So d I can write minus is j square, so this I can write it as plus or minus j omega, right? Because if I take a square root, omega square root is omega, so j square root is plus or minus j, so plus or minus j omega square root of mu naught epsilon naught, or d is equal to, I can write it as plus or minus j beta, where beta is equal to omega square root of mu naught epsilon naught, which is called as phase shift constant. This is called as phase shift constant measured in radians per meter. Okay, hence the solution of the equation. So we have to find the solution of the equation from where we got the auxiliary equation. So the equation number 11. So solution of this equation number 11, okay, from where we have written the auxiliary equation. So solution is given by ex. How to write the solution in terms of differential operator? Ex is equal to k1 e raised to minus dz plus k2 into e raised to plus dz, right? We have already found out the value of d, so substitute that. So ex will be equal to k1 into e raised to minus j omega. I'm substituting the value of d here, right? So that is j omega square root mu naught epsilon naught z plus k2 into e raised to plus j omega square root mu naught epsilon naught z, right? So that is ex will be equal to k1 into e raised to minus of j beta z plus k2 into e raised to plus j beta z. Okay, so this is our previous equation for beta. This is, take it as 12 and take this as 13, right? Now here, so k1 and k2, they are constants with respect to z, but they are varying with respect to time, is it not? So k1 I can express in terms of time as k1 is equal to em plus e raised to plus j omega t, and k2 is equal to em minus e raised to plus j omega t. Right. So substituting values of k1 and k2 in equation 13. So substituting this k1 and k2 in equation 13 here in this equation 13. So what we get here? Ex is equal to em plus e raised to plus j omega t into e raised to minus j beta z plus em minus e raised to j omega t into e raised to j beta z. So just I have substituted k1 and k2, right, in the previous equation, equation number 13. Fine. So what is the next equation then? Ex will be equal to em plus e raised to j, right, j. So e is the base here, this is j is common, so omega t minus beta z plus em minus e raised to j omega t plus beta z. So taking real part of this above equation 14, right, we get Ex is equal to real part Re of Em plus e raised to j omega t minus beta z plus Em minus e raised to j omega t plus beta z. Okay, so if we take the real part of this, that is Ex will be equal to Em plus cos of omega t minus beta z plus Em minus cos of omega t plus beta z volt per meter. I am taking only the real part, that is cos part. Okay, I have not taken the imaginary part. So what it indicates here, this equation, take it as 15. So this equation indicates that there are two components of the electric field. One component is in the positive direction, in the forward direction, and another component in the backward direction, right? So one component of field is in positive z direction, that is Em plus, right? Another component is in negative z direction, that is Em minus. Fine. Similarly, I can write for H. H, we know that it is in y direction, so Hy is equal to Hm plus cos of omega t minus beta z minus H minus cos of omega t plus beta z ampere per meter. So this Ex is volt per meter, Hy that magnetic field intensity, it is in ampere per meter. Fine. So what it indicates, students, here, Ex we have taken in x direction, Hy we have taken in y direction, so they are mutually perpendicular to each other, and the direction of propagation will be in the other direction, that is in the z direction, according to the right hand thumb rule. So these two Ex and Ehy are the transverse electromagnetic waves, right? So thus E bar and H bar are the function of time. These Ex and Hy, they are function of time, they are the function of time, right? That is our final conclusion. Fine, students. So here in this today's derivation, we have derived the equation of the uniform plane wave. We have derived the equation of the uniform plane waves, right, in free space. We have derived the equation of the uniform plane wave in free space, and starting from considering that Ex is in E is in x direction, H is in y direction, we have derived the equation for the uniform plane waves, right? So hope everybody have understood, students. If there are any doubts, send your doubts to me. I will clarify your doubts. Thank you.